So students, you need today some scissors and 3 pieces of paper. I'm gonna use computer paper. You can use notebook paper, whatever's 3 pieces of paper. They just need pieces of paper that you can fold easily. So I'm gonna stack them up nice and neat so that they're perfectly aligned, hopefully, or close to being perfectly aligned. We have ours portrait style, or as if you were an elementary student and I was teaching you hamburger style, but you're no longer elementary students, so we're gonna say portrait style. It's going up and down the long way. And what we're gonna do is take the top of it and fold it down to meet the bottom. And I want to try my best to line up one corner. I'm gonna put a finger on it. I'm gonna go to the other one and try to line it up as best I can. And then I'm going to put my finger in the center, push down, and so that those points don't leave. I'll push it out to the right, and then I'll go from the center out to the left. So that's what I'm doing with my 3 pieces of paper. Then I'm gonna open it up, like so. Then I'm just gonna fold it on the back side the same way, just to make that crease a little bit more permanent. So I got one side lined up. I'm gonna line up the other side. Push it in the middle, push out, and that would give us close to center of our paper. Once we have that center, I'm just going to take my scissors and carefully try to cut down that line. Just carefully, doing my best to keep it nice and even and straight. If it's not perfectly straight, it's okay, but if it is, the straighter it is, the better it's gonna be for you, okay? So now I have 2 piles of paper that are portrait style. And so now what I'm gonna do with those is fold it over, find the edge in the corner, and push to the center, and then out, and then take those pieces of paper and then turn them over. I'm gonna try to find the corner again, lining those up nice and neat. If they're not neat, just stack them again. And by having them a little bit neater at the beginning and having our lines a little bit straighter, it's gonna make our lives a little bit easier. Okay, so there's that. Once I have that, I will open it up. I'm going to cut down that line that I have just made as best I can, nice and straight, just so it makes it easier for me later on. If it's all crooked, I'll show you an example. It makes it harder for you. I don't want things to be harder, so I'll stack those up. So I have one pile over here. And now the other side that I had, the other half, I'm going to fold over as well. Set those up to the top. Find the corner. And this corner. And you can see I didn't cut it straight perfectly. I have some pieces hanging over. So I want to find the corner that has the best edge and use that, so I don't have to trim everything. Flip these back over the other way, just to get a nice crease in there. Find the corner, like so. And then I'll cut down the center by opening it up, and then just following that line as best I can. So I get a nice straight line, just so it makes it easier on myself later on, like so. Stack those pieces of paper together, and then I have 2 piles that are same. And then what we're gonna do is fold these over again, find the corner, whoop, and we'll open it up, fold it backwards, same. Open it. We'll cut down the line. We're almost done. Oh. Stack those up nice and neat in a little pile here. And I'll grab this pile. I'm going to fold it over. Get the corners lined up. Push down the center, to the right, to the left. Fold it back on itself. Center. Right to the left. I'll cut down the line, okay? There we go. I'll stack those up, and I'll stack those on top of there, and we should have 24 pieces of paper. Now what I'm gonna do is stack them nice and neat. You can see I cut these a little bit short in here. If I look there, so I'm gonna pull those out and bring them to the front, just so I can see that line. Try and find the shorter ones. There, and I want the bottom of my paper to be perfectly lined up. Okay, so I'm trying to make this a perfect stack right there. So I can pinch it, and I need to trim some off on the edges here. So I'm just gonna trim off some of the edges there, because I wanna make it sort of straight and neat. And then over here, I need to figure out what side, so I have a bottom side, and I got some parts up here that need to be trimmed, and that's okay. So go and trim those off with my scissors. And now what I want to do is get one flat side. So I'm going to make that the flat side at the bottom. So I'm using the table to tap it to make it so that these pages all line up. And by doing that, I should find out how much is off. Once that's there, I should be able to flip through this nice and easy and get every page. If I can't get every page, it just means something's a little bit off, and so I can try to stack it a little bit and get every single page so it is able to be seen, okay? Once you have that, you can staple it. We'll make sure that it's lined up. If you don't have a stapler, you can use a paper clip. You can use just your hands, but this is what we need, okay? Then what we're going to do is number the top right corner, each page. And so we're going to type number 1, and then we're going to go number 2 and number 3. I'm going to do this in time lapse, and you can see when I'm in time lapse, I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to get to 24, but on the 24th page, I'm going to be writing number 23, and that's because I missed a page. So it's very important that when you're going through, make sure that you get each page. So here's 1, and I'm touching, there's 2, there's 3, and here is 4, and then just make sure you're not missing a page so you don't have to go back and erase. You'll see in that. So watch the time lapse, and then we'll get ready for the next thing. As you can see, I messed up, and so I had to go back and erase it. And that happens to you. You can do that too. Also, if you have any little scraps, make sure that you cut off, make sure they get in the recycling. Right, now that our little book here is numbered 1 through 24, and all the pages are there correctly, we can get started on our project. So you can watch the next video.